Welcome back into DSI, and we are going to kick off our second block in the first day because championship night in Georgetown.
That's right, Julian. We had 2 title games at Delmarva Christian. The Royals have been kings of the conference over in the EZAC for the last few years. So, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the appreciation of my puns. But let's see if that trend would continue tonight. Delmarva Christian and Salisbury School tipping things off with the EZAC championship on the line. Royals slay the Dragons early on. Gabe Hurling running and knocking down the triple right there, and then Andrew Workman putting up the defense. Yeah, that's the best place, Trey. The easy bucket for Hurling right to the rim for 2. Dragons having a tough time getting going on offense, but Grant Wagner spots up and he hits the tray ball there. Wagner leading the Dragons with 17 in this one. Royals even cleaning up off the glass. Chris Vanoff there for the easy putback. 15 points for him.
And Mark Moraz getting the bucket from behind the arc. Dragons still trailing by 11 points. Delmarva Christian just feeling it. This place went nuts after this 3 by Nate Moyer in the corner. And then in transition, Wagner back the other way.
Oh, the step back.
Step back one time, knock another down. Time winding down in the half. Herring going to spot up and beat the ball.
Watch the place erupt right
here. Everything, and I mean everything going for Delmarva Christian. They take the EZAC championship tonight by a final. Oh, they rushed the court. Oh, my goodness, 89 to 45.
Yeah, we do a really good job of playing to our strength, and that's shooting the ball. And so we came out here, and we knew that their big men were a little bit bigger than ours, and so we knew that if we could slow them down, that we'd have a really good chance. And so we did our best to stop them and play to our strength. We're better this year, and so our goal is to just go as far as we possibly can.
And first, I want to say, Trey, we were talking about this earlier, the effect that Steph Curry has had on the game. 3-point shooting, we see everybody's jacking up 3-point shots. But I'm going to start with you, Brandon.
Yeah, but in this game, they were making them.
Exactly. Yeah. Brandon, how was the game for you? You were there. What was it like?
Well, it was close early on. It was 2-2. And then before you knew it, it was 18-2.
And off the rails from there.
Delmarva Christian has beaten Salisbury School twice by 30 points already this season. We knew that this was more than likely going to be a blowout scenario in this game, but they really took the bull by the horns. And give Delmarva Christian credit because they go out there and they beat the opponents that they have in front of them. Yeah. But I don't know how this is going to transition into the DIAA tournament.
That's a very good point. Salisbury School also got to give them some credit from what they had last year to bring that team back. They lost some pieces, of course. Josh Lewis, who's now playing at Mardella, was a key piece that they lost. But Coach Jermichael Mitchell, the coach of the year in the conference, got that team back to a championship game. So I think that is important. But that was not the only game we had tonight. And for more on that, we're going to toss back to the wall to Drew.
Thanks, Trey. As you mentioned, you can't get enough of the EZAC, right? Well, we got the girls matchup to get to as well. We have a rematch of last year's EZAC championship, Delmarva Christian and the Worcester Prep Mallards. And the Royals, well, let's just say things weren't going great early and often. Ball swatted away, and Grace Fetterman, she's going to finish falling all the way onto the other end of the floor. It's not a Royals highlight, got a little bit of that. And then the Royals, of course, they're going to set up the offense and just watch the ball movement. They've been so well at that all year. Baseline drive and kick out to Candace Schlabach. 3 of her 13 first-half points. And then don't blink. You might miss this fast break. Savannah Stewart, a gun rifle right to Sarah Walton. She lays it in. Christian by 18 at halftime. Worcester Prep did what they could, though. Carly Hoffman's going to fake and drive. She connects despite some of the easy contact, but Delmarva Christian went 19-1 this season for a reason. The 3 started falling. Schlabach with the pull-up, steps in, knocks it down. And then Sierra Troyer, she's going to go from the top of the arc. Delmarva Christian, they easily win the EZAC title, 67-46.
I'm a stickler for defense, and as soon as the game was over, I looked at the book and looked at their leading scorer. They had too many points. I don't like that, so we got to cut down, make sure we slide our feet and hands up. We got to do a better job of that.
I know that we're going to go in knowing what to expect and being ready, so we're just going to prepare as much as we can and try to get the younger ones ready too.
Over to Felton with Laurel battling with Lake Forest yesterday, and Laurel will be down 2.5 fresh out of the locker room, though. Kylese Wilson knocks down a 3, and his fellow freshman Dontarius Jones for another 3. And then the man himself, sophomore Javier White, drills a 3. Bulldogs go up by 1 midway through the third. Love that kid's celebration, man. But Lake, they're not showing any signs of backing down. Senior star Jason Vasquez, he's doing what he's done all year. Splits a double team, takes it to the rack, gets the contact, and scores. finished tied with a game-high 20 points. Mid-fourth quarter, though, the Spartans down by 6. Reginald White's going to spot up in the corner for 3, and he puts it in. Lake cuts the deficit to 3 in the fourth, but Laurel just continuing to dominate in the fourth. They dominated the glass. Shot's going to be off, but there's Dontarius Jones with 2 more points. He knocks it down. Laurel, they start the season 2-2. They win their final 16 games to clinch the Henlopen South, their first South crown since 2003, and just the second in school history.
This is our second time in school history. So I got one of my coaches on the coach staff that was on the South Championship, but it's just amazing for our kids that worked hard all year. And I mean, we got a young squad.
We worked hard for this. We played as a team. We stayed humble, and we just work hard in practice every day.
All right, guys, so we got plenty more. We'll send it back to the desk for some more scores.
All right, thanks, Drew. Sussex Central getting the win against Indian River, 67-59, and then CR struggling tonight with Concord, but they get the win, 70-66.
Milford falling at home to end their season against Hodgson, 80-64, and Dover finishing their regular season up yesterday as well. They beat Delcastle by a final of 71-42.
That's a statement win right there.
That is.
I think so.
Yeah, Delcastle's a very good team
They
from
are. They won
Newcastle
14
County,
games.
but
Okay.
I know they're coming down to
14
Dover,
games.
but
Sure.
30-point win against them?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what I want to talk about, speaking of Dover, this Laurel team, right?
Yes.
We know they're going to be
gonna be
really
fun.
good in the future, but they're good right now with
They
a
are.
freshman and sophomore-led team.
They are.
Yeah, as of right now, I mean, where do you think that this championship game is going to go? Because we already have some talking back and forth between Dover and Laurel going on.
I mean, I don't know. I think that if Laurel can, I mean, it's hard because the game is at Dover High School.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that's
Okay.
already an unfair
That's a huge
advantage.
disadvantage right
It
there.
is, because if the game was at Laurel, I would say it could go either way. I really like Laurel in their building, but the fact that it is at Dover really strikes me as a good thing for the Senators. But I want to see this young Laurel team come in and compete, man. They do not back down from a challenge.
Yeah.
You saw what was said on Twitter earlier.
Right. Yeah, we did. But I just wonder how they're going to deal with the athleticism of Dover, because they haven't seen an opponent like this all year long. I mean, maybe the best team they faced this year was Woodbridge.
Yeah.
Woodbridge doesn't have Elijah Allen or Jaheim Spencer or Eaton Davis. They're just loaded with talent.
I mean, one point I want to make, Trey, we were talking about earlier when Dover played Y-High in the Governor's Challenge. We saw how good Dover was against Y-High and how talented Y-High is. When you think about that type of matchup, I feel like Dover, when they're on their A game, they're unbeatable.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they played Eleanor Roosevelt, who is probably going to win the 4A in Maryland. They played Eleanor Roosevelt to a 7-point game, I believe. Dover is that good. But like I said, Laurel doesn't back down from anybody. Whoever didn't see the comments, go onto my Twitter page right now. Javier White said, I want Elijah Allen.
I love it.
He made it known. I love that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens
I wish everybody
with that.
had that kind of energy. I mean, I can't wait to see the game.
I can't either. Unfortunately, we do have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll check in on your weekend forecast. Plus, we'll give you an update on that racist graffiti situation going on at Salisbury University. Stay with us. You're watching DSI.
I'm Jeremiah Bill from Delmarva High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.